Hey, what's going on, all my fellow godlies and Warframe enthusiasts around the world? This is Vance, once again with another ReForged video, and today I'm shooting the Equilibrium inspiration. I mean, that movie was kinda bad, but it had one of the coolest concepts and the most awesome choreographing I've ever seen, and honestly, I'm wishing that DE would sprinkle a little of that Peacemaker magic on Baruuk with his dodge ability, because that shit would be awesome. Anyways, I'm covering Mesa today because I can't remember which poll it was, whether it was the Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, but I know that Mesa won one of those polls. And so naturally I would cover her next because Baruuk and Garuda already got their god builds. So naturally we're going to go with Mesa and then cover Octavia last in another video soon to come. I'm also working on a lot of other things that's YouTube related, Exidium, originals, shorts of that nature, but I've got a lot of stuff going on in my personal life right now. Fighting in custody battle, moving into a new place, being robbed. There's a lot of stuff going on, so just hold tight, guys. More content is coming on its way. But for right now, we're going to review Mesa and what has changed between the initial god build and the ReForged. So, I'm pretty sure that I had Pistol Amp and Retribution here the entire time. Arcane Velocity, we've got it equipped because it has a 60% chance to increase your fire rate for 80% for 6 seconds. Arcane Precision is on headshot 80% chance for 120% damage for pistols. This is going to be really handy with our sidearms, not to mention the passive. If you take a look at the passive, it's shoot dual-wielded sidearms faster and reload single-handed sidearms more rapidly. Gain bonus health when not using melee weapons. So that's going to be important when we select our loadout here. We're not going to be using a melee weapon at all. Back to the build. I've got Stretch, Adaption, Vitality, Umbral Intensify, Prime Continuity, Staggering Shield, Prime Flow, and Constitution. Adaption is a relatively new mod. It's been in the game for a little bit now. It's been a significant amount of time. But the major point here is that whenever you don't have your Staggering Shield up, you're going to want to have this up. It's going to be very vital to your survival. I don't think I need to explain why we have Vitality, Intensify, Continuity, or Flow here. These are all just kind of staples that you use in any standard build. Staggering Shield is important so that you can reflect your bullets back at your enemies, which will stagger them, and it takes a little bit of pressure off of you. And honestly, I would like to focus a lot more ability duration with this, just so I can keep my buffs up longer. My Shatter Shield, things of that nature. But I mean, everything else is essential, so I have to make some sacrifices here. And then Stretch, obviously, for your Peacemaker. It's not too different from the original setup. Where it differs heavily is the loadout. Now, we do have Burst and Prime. I'm not sure if anything has changed here. I have a Riven. I'm not exactly sure if we showcase that in the initial God build setup. But you're going to want to build this baby for status because it has a whopping 99.8%. It's going to load up your enemies with status like it's nobody's business. You've got your heat, your slash, your corrosive, and then a little bit of impact and puncture. Nothing really worth mentioning there. Now there's a variety of sidearms that you can use. I did showcase Akjagar Prime in the Garuda god build, so nothing has changed here. If you've seen the Garuda god build, you can refer to that. Same type of setup, but I mean, I'm going to recommend other weapons as well, like if you want to use Aklex Prime, for example. This is another Prime candidate for Mesa Prime users. Prime Target Cracker, Prime Pistol Gambit, Convulsion, Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, Hollow Point, Lethal Torrent, Pistol Pestilence. Even some of the crafted weapons, like, let's go with the Hope Ender setup. I debuted this, I believe, in God Build's ReForged Avara. Prime Target Cracker, Prime Pistol Gambit, Hornet Strike, Lethal Torrent, Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, Jolt, Barrel Diffusion. This combination right here, the Hope Ender combination that I put together in Godbuild's ReForged Ivara, it's a little bit slow on the reload, but using it on Mesa will mean that, you know, it's not so slow. There's just a variety of secondaries that can be used for Mesa Prime, even Piranha Prime. Not sure if I showcased the build for this yet, but here it is. Barrel Diffusion, Lethal Torrent, Pathogen Rounds, Prime Pistol Gambit, Hornet Strike, Prime Target Cracker, Suppress, and Convulsion. I believe I was using Suppress for Ivara. So if that's not something you want to do, go ahead and swap it out with like Augur Pact. And then you'll see the damage just increases by almost twice as much as what we had it before. I mean, even Hollow Point is a pretty good candidate. I never wanted to go with core damage just because core damage can only bring you so far. You really want to max out crit as much as you can, but I mean, it's ultimately up to you what you end up using. For me, I don't use Prime all that much. I prefer to stick to other weapons. Static Ore got a buff. I showcased that in the Baruuk God build. Like I said, variety of weapons that you can use here. I'm going to stick with the Akjagar Prime because, I don't know, I just feel like it fits the aesthetics of Mesa overall. Now, for lenses, you can just about use anything. It doesn't matter too much. I primarily rock Zenuric because we need energy. That's really the only weakness of Mesa, is if you run out of bullets and you run out of energy. So, not using a melee, because as the passive said, we get more health when we do that. It's not a significant amount enough to make a fuss about, but, I mean, come on, if we can get it, we're gonna go for it. Melee is not really needed, so, you know, I mean, with her Peacemaker, she pretty much does what she needs to get done without having to use a melee at all. So with the regulators, because of the exalted weapon changes that we got not too long ago, well, I mean, it's been a decent amount of time, you're going to need to know how to build these, which is Prime Target Cracker, Prime Pistol Gambit, Pathogen Rounds, Convulsion, Barrel Diffusion, Hornet Strike, Lethal Torrent, and Anemic Agility. This is going to be the whole grain, total biscuit of your entire loadout. Not really... There's not too many Sentinels in the game that are worth, you know, rolling with Mesa. I don't think that Carrier might be useful to you because it can convert that extra ammo for you, and like I said, that's pretty much her only kryptonite, is running out of ammunition. So again, ammo case, increases ammo capacity by 25% and converts ammo pickups into ammo for equipped weapons after 2 seconds. That's just about the only issue that Mesa may have, because when you're fighting on Valis, when you're fighting Corpus threats, the Akjagar Prime, sometimes I've ran out of ammo. And Burstin Prime, likewise, same story with that. Luckily for us, I'm going to be showcasing an alternative in case these weapons don't cut it for you. So let's just skip straight into that, shall we? Here we are, the moment so many godlies have been waiting for. Archwing weapons. Pretty much, I mean, I've done a lot of testing with the Archwing weapons, and I've done it not just with the Profit Taker missions, but also in a tour pretty much around the entire galaxy. And every test that I've conducted with every weapon that I have, as you can see, I clearly have them all. The only ones I didn't equip for testing was the Grappler and Singus, but even then I still test it in the Archwing modes. And the best one that I could find is probably the Imperator Vandal. And this thing is very impressive. It just decimates everything in its path. you're going to want to roll with Electrified Barrel, Venomous Clip, Parallax Scope, Hollowed Bullets, Critical Focus, Sabot Rounds, Ruby-Doo Line Barrel, and Dual Rounds. This is going to require 3 Forma, which is not that big of a deal for main weapons. It's going to take a long time to level up. And especially when you're trying to level up, this thing will just run out of ammunition. And that's going to be a universal problem to this entire loadout. Running out of ammunition is just harsh. But it's really annoying when you're trying to level up an Archwing weapon, and it takes a lot of experience to do that anyway, and then it'll run out of ammunition and you get no more affinity for it. It only seems to get affinity when it's being used, or whenever you've pulled it out and started rolling with it. So keep that in mind when you're trying to level this up, guys. You're gonna want to put all your effort into this, and I would like to see some type of added benefits for Mesa users being able to rock Archwing weapons. I mean, I'd like to see universal benefits, honestly. They're obviously going to expand on that because we've got the sentient arm cannons that are still yet to debut. We had that Lotus trailer that came out, the new war. So I would like to see just what else they have in store for heavy weapons like this. Because this really does do a lot of damage. Like, it decimates enemies very, very quickly. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and if you roll with a build similar to this one, or an exact replica, you're going to see what I'm talking about. It produces a lot of results. So that pretty much concludes it for the ReForged. As I stated at the very beginning of the video, I've got a lot of stuff coming to the page, but I'm gonna need everyone's help, man. I'm gonna be, I've already added some benefits to my Patreon, so you can go and check that out. I'll be adding more. I'll be adding more artwork to my store, which is linked down below, like directly beneath my videos. You'll be able to check out Teespring and be able to buy my artwork on t-shirts. Crazy amounts of stuff. We got a website up. I'm gonna be expanding on all of that, okay? But I mean, I've got a lot of stuff to address in my personal life. Like I said, custody battle, moving, just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I'm only a one-man crew, and I'm not able to produce content like that quickly. So I'm working on animations, writing, the website. So if you guys are interested in volunteering to help me out and being a part of the God Builds team, let me know on the Facebook group, the fan page that we've got, or check me out on Discord and send me a DM and I'll get back to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you liked it and learned something from it. And until next time, this has been Vance, signing out. Peace.